Alex Pereira just became face of the UFC after beating 5 world champion caliber fighters. Everyone faster than anyone before. Is how?
He's doing these rituals before the fight. Everybody can feel that what's around him and what's going on. Alex can't fight without that.
Is it true? Are Jiri's allegations actually correct? Well, let's see. Alex Pereira openly said that he regularly speaks with spirits of his ancestors. In fact, that they help him reach this huge goals that he sets himself up to. Spirits even helped him overcome his alcohol addiction. Everybody can sense Pereira's aura.
He was quite frosty when I met him. We went to did the press conference. We sat next to each other. He was literally, I was here, he was there. He thinks he can beat me, you know. And my dad was like, "What do you mean?" I don't know. I can just tell. I literally could feel off him. I felt like he was like sizing me up a little bit. I almost got the feeling from him like I would get from an opponent before I would fight him. Do you know what I mean?
Because he had it in his mind.
It wasn't always like that. For us to see a full picture, we need to dive deep into Pereira's past, all the way back to 2010. Alex was raised in favelas of Sao Paulo, a very poor and dangerous place. He was working at a tire shop and could barely pay of his bills. And that is why he would regularly drink up to 1 liter of Brazilian rum. At the age of 21, he discovered something that would change his life and help him get over his alcohol addiction. He joined a kickboxing gym. Very soon it was clear that he was going to be a masterful kickboxer. And so he started competing
Alex Pereira,
and beating basically everybody in front of him in the first 2-3 minutes of the fight. 20 fights later, he was scheduled to fight upcoming prodigy Israel Adesanya. It was a very close match, Israel even saying that he won.
I won that fight, but then I didn't finish the guy. People were like, "Oh, well, that's what happens when you leave it to the judges."
But in the end, Pereira's hand was raised. Soon they had a rematch in which at the beginning, Israel was actually winning, but then in round 3, this happened. Alex Pereira knocked out Israel Adesanya. Later, Israel went to the UFC, where he completely dominated everyone and became middleweight champion and one of the UFC's biggest superstars. The question is, what happened to Alex Pereira? He went and became 2 times Glory World Kickboxing Champion, and then he froze. He achieved it all and didn't know what to do next. He has hit the wall, and by doing it, he got back to his old habits. He started drinking again, and this time, more than ever, it was getting real bad. But then in 2020, while he was at the pub, he saw this interview.
This fight I fought and I got knocked out, my first and only ever knockout loss. And then glad it happened because I wouldn't be here where it was. And even the same guy now he watches all my fights, and every time I fight, like clockwork, he'll try and put something out like, "I beat this guy." But I've never ever watched any of his fights, ever. So at the end of the day, no one knows who the he is. And he's gonna be that guy when I'm world champion, when I'm a legend. He's gonna be at some pub, talking some shit about, "I beat that guy one time," trying to get a dick sucked from a crack whore or some shit.
This sparked a new flame inside of Alex. He was determined not to finish the way Israel said he will. At the same time, he found out about his ancestry. He discovered that he has indigenous ancestry from the Pataxo tribe. He knew that taping deep into his roots would help him reach new limits, and that is when he practiced shamanism for the first time.
Movimento, né, do arco e flecha, depois eu passo uma sequência junto com a minha música indígena e foi assim que tudo começou.
Soon after, he got a call from the UFC. As soon as he got in, he started completely dominating fighters. Everybody was shocked at his pure physical attributes.
I met him and his fist is like literally both mine put together. It was so massive.
Dude, and they're long.
Yeah.
They're like long fists.
Just a big fella. Just a big fucking
His
fella.
that
Scary.
dude is a legitimate ancestor of people that were like tribal folks in Brazil in the Amazon.
He looks like it.
He is,
yeah,
man.
Looks.
That's superior genetics, son. And the technique, man.
Yeah.
When you combine it all together, superior physical genetics, excellent fighting technique, experience, and having a help from indigenous spirits, you get a special aura that all fighters around him can feel. When Sean Strickland asks you to go to a bigger weight class, you know that you are one scariest dude.
There was blood coming down his face, my was getting hard, and then I got knocked out by a big Brazilian. What we say about Alex is he hits really hard. And when those fucking punches connect, you tend to not know what fucking happened. I think Alex should go 205, man. He's a big mother Life is miserable. You'll be better at 205. You'll be happier.
Just a year after joining UFC, he knocked out middleweight champion and his old foe, Israel Adesanya, becoming UFC middleweight champion. Then he went to a bigger weight class, and in just 1 year, he became UFC double champion. He achieved it all. In just 2 years, he was already ready for UFC Hall of Fame. He did the impossible while being 36 years old. That is extremely old for a UFC fighter. And the last fight against Jiri made me realize just why is Alex so good. He is never alone in that ring. He is always bringing his whole tribe, his whole culture with him. That's why he does shaman practices before every fight, so that he can truly connect with them. Jiri hates that, and he openly admitted it.
Right now, this is my challenge to him. If we can fight in a clear way in this case, yeah, to be not without like some another things, some whatever. Let the higher power be there in the cage to see who's the best in the performance, in the pure performance.
He is completely different than Alex. While Alex seeks help from every spirit in his tribe, Jiri focuses on getting help from within himself, just like a true samurai. There is no one with bigger drive and motivation in UFC right now than Alex Pereira. It has been proven time and time again. He fought just 3 months after getting knocked out, and he won. It is clear that he has a higher purpose and that his story is not yet finished.
Quero fazer o meu nome, né? Fazer meu nome crescer, para mim estar usando futuramente aí para tentar ajudar os povos indígenas com um projeto social, aproveitar, usar essa mídia toda do UFC, esse nome todo, a gente está falando do maior evento.
Will we see a fight between him and John Jones soon? Well, who knows? Only time will tell.